Good morning. It's 6:44 a.m. on Monday, February 22nd, 2016. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I really did it to myself this time, you guys. I stayed up too late uh, on on a work night playing Batman Arkham Knight in this case. I got into a really nasty cycle of oh wait, just one more thing, just one more thing, just one more thing, and then it was considerably past my bedtime. It's not good. It's not good, you guys. I'm really tired. I'm already running behind schedule, and I'm really tired. Oh, excuse me. Oh my God. Um, one other thing though that I did yesterday and on Saturday was that over the last couple of weeks, I had gotten myself kind of behind schedule, so to speak, on a lot of the TV shows that I watch. So I invested some time this weekend into trying to get caught up on the ones that I consider a priority. And in particular, the ones that I'm now caught up on are basically all of the superhero shows. You know, we've got Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and Agent Carter. Um, it's kind of awesome and fascinating that superhero stories have, become so much more mainstream in the last several years. Legends of Tomorrow, in particular, is just a show that feels like it's kind of ridiculous but awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. Ridiculous and awesome that it exists. It just feels like even just a couple of years ago, to describe that show, you would have said, "Okay, that's it's bizarre, is what it is, but it's awesome." The show is doing an excellent job balancing its large cast, trying to give all of them something to do, trying to mix and match some of the combinations. You know what I mean? Just so you don't see the same sets of characters always interacting. You know, you've got such a big cast with, you know, Hawk Girl and Captain Cold and his partner Rory, who I can't remember his code name, is like Inferno or something like that. Um, and then Ray Palmer and Dr. Stein and Jax that make, the other half of Firestorm and Rip Hunter and uh, is that everybody? Uh, um, just all of those people and giving them. Oh, and Sarah Lance's White Canary. Having them all have something interesting to do. So that show has just been delightful. Oh my God! I mean, yawning up a storm today, you guys. And so yeah, that show's great. And for a show that, like, before it came out, I mean, even though I was already watching Arrow and The Flash, I just like I just looked at the promos for that show and said that seems like such a weird show. I don't know if I'm interested, and it turns out I am. The Flash also continues to be great. Um, it occasionally, I think, I don't want to say flounders. Flounders is too negative a word. It occasionally gets lost in the soap opera weeds just a little bit, but overall, it's got such a great central conflict to the plot that it really it really helps keep the show in check. You know, it's complicated, but there's a really simple central core, which is that Zoom is a bad guy. He wants to steal Barry's speed, and he's going to do anything he has to get it. and then everybody else is trying to help Barry keep that from happening. It's easy to understand, and then the complexities just grow from there. I contrast that with Arrow, which there's still many aspects of that show that I enjoy, but it does not have that simple central thrust. Um, Damien Dark is a bad guy, and he wants to do bad things probably, and Oliver and company want to stop him, um, I guess, and he doesn't want them to stop him, so they're fighting back. And as far as getting lost in the soap opera weeds, that's like 60% of that show. So I'm still watching it, but of the current crop of superhero shows that I'm watching, now it's on the bottom right now. I feel like I loved it in season 2, and then it's just never quite been that good since. And my understanding is part of that's because a lot of the writers that made it so good in season 2 then left the show to make The Flash. Anyway, last but not least is Agent Carter. I'd gotten way backed up on Agent Carter. Before this weekend, I hadn't watched any of season 2 yet, but now I'm all caught up because I watched a bunch, 7 hours worth, I think, of Agent Carter over the weekend, and boy, that show is just so good, you guys. I sure hope it gets a season 3. I think it's perfectly sized as one of these shows that gets kind of like half of a normal season. I think it's better because it keeps it, tight. But just all of the characters doing their performances are just great. We've got some, so Peggy, as always, is great, and Jarvis. That duo is just, they're so fun together. And then we've got, the return of Dottie Underwood from last season, and then all sorts of great new characters this season. We've got Mrs. Jarvis, and Dr. Wilkes, and Whitney Frost. Boy, just like, oh. Agent Sousa, I kind of don't mean to imply that like there was some expectation that he isn't meeting, but what I will say is, given that actor's range that he's had on when I first saw him on Dollhouse, they're not giving him as much to do in this one, but what they do give him to do is still great. And that show's just amazing, and I love it. I think that's probably my favorite of the ones that I've just talked about today. But I will now bring this installment of 5 More Minutes to a close. I bid you good morning. I'll talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.